It's never too late to let go of prejudice. No matter how difficult it may seem, it can be done. Oh, right, this is after that. That last cutscene, which is pretty direct. This is my first time meeting Ketan Ram. Rogadin, if I ever saw one. That's how you feel about FF referencing other FF games? 14? Yeah, I kind of feel that way about the references to 9 in this game. I just don't get them. Ketan Ram, living legend and Eorzean explorer extraordinaire, would like to chat. This ain't no place for a proper chat. Me cabin's just north of the city. Blue Eyes Abode, as people here call it on account of me dazzling twinklers. I think that games can do references, but I think that you need to have more, in most cases, I think you need to have more original characters and storytelling than you do references. And that's my problem with patch content for Endwalker, is that it hinged almost entirely upon pre-existing universe characters and didn't really establish much original stuff at all. You had Durante and you had Zero, which really isn't even that original. You know? And so I think that there just needs to be a balance between those things. Originality and reference. And when it's mostly reference, I think it's cheaper, it's lazier, and people that don't get the references suffer as a result. So that's my opinion. References are welcome, but when your whole game is references, not so much. I'm not saying 14 is that, but the man values his privacy. Of course he does. A rather humble residence for a legendary explorer. I would have expected a manor decorated with exotic treasures. Oh. Maybe where we come from, Alisei. I've heard that upon Ketan Ram's disappearance, explorers from across Eorzea banded together in search of him. But I doubt they ever thought to look here. I wonder how long it's been since he settled down here. Naught but 4 walls and a roof. But enough for most folk. Make yourselves comfortable. It depends on how you do your references. If your reference is distinct enough to tell its own story, that's a win. If it's just pointing at something and saying, hey, remember this? This was cool. That's a cheap reference. Which is why 6.x was cheap, and that's why the Elden Ring DLC is cheap. That's why the Elden Ring DLC is cheap. I'm just gonna say it, bro. Like the Plague Knight or whatever, literally just a boss of references crammed together. So, Radahn, again, from that game, but again, just whatever. I just didn't think it was that good. It was fun to play. I enjoyed playing the Elden Ring DLC. But I will admit that the last boss honestly fucking ruined it. I'm 100% straight up. I really do think for me the last boss ruined the DLC. So I think it was that big of a deal. I really do. Why did you choose to settle down in Mamuk? They haven't exactly been welcoming to outsiders. Legendary explorer or otherwise. All the more reason to keep a weather eye on them. Though seeing how you've won them over, methinks I'll have less need for vigilance, pardon me. I'm here at Galul Jajar's behest to ensure his hard-won peace is kept, and incidentally to remind Zareel Shah of his duty as a lector, should he have forgotten it. I just spit all over my microphone. Just hawk to it on my mic. An old man ordered you to stay here. My old man ordered you to stay here? That's no way to treat an honored guest. I'd say I'm more than your father's guest by now. Or didn't you see the sepulchre atop Warcor's armor? That's right. Ketan Ram was one of the names. Your father and I fought shoulder to shoulder in many a battle. Valagarmanda being one of our triumphs. but one of our tribes. He and I are brothers. So when your brother tells you to stand watch, you stand watch. You trust in his judgment and his strength of will. Even if that means you have to sit out the occasional scrap. Surely you understand such a bond, surrounded as ye by all these bright and eager faces. I do. My comrades are my strength, and it's thanks to them that I understand Papa's hopes for this nation. What I must continue to protect. Then prove your readiness for the throne, Wuklamon. Find the Golden City. Oh, I will. With these ones beside me, even uncovering a legend should be child's play. Especially since I believe I already have. Oh? You've been gigabraining? All by yourself? How? When? Well, as you know, electors are forbidden from giving unfair advantage to claimants. So when Hunmu Rook refused to divulge why my grandfather passed through Ikbrosh 20 years ago, his silence spoke volumes, agreed Kryl. You think Galif's visit had something to do with the Golden City? Precisely. No shit. No shit. Moreover, only the Yokui who lived in Yaktiel ever dreamt those golden dreams. When exposed to certain triggers, those with magical aptitude have been known to receive visions. And if Gurfala's abilities are at all representative, the Yokui are no stranger to the arcane, which means the dreamers of Eld likely owe their experiences to their inherent qualities and their proximity to the city itself. Here, in these forests. I got a sandwich in front of me I gotta eat at some point. Then all we need to do is search Yaktiel from top to bottom, right? It would behoove us to try and narrow our focus. To that end, I propose we return to Mamuk and make inquiries. While there, we can all take the opportunity to see to any necessary travel preparations. When everyone is ready, let us assemble at the Aetheryte. How the fuck do you say that name? Kakuya? Kakiwa? Kakiwa? How the fuck do you say that? Kakiwa? The H is an F sound? What? Kavkiwa is how he pronounced it at the sepulcher. Okay, I've just got 30 different pronunciations from chat, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give it my best try. Yeah. Your kakui. Yeah, I don't like, this chat, it's so different. Like, you guys all say something different. Definitely Kofifi. You guys are unbearable. You're Kakuya's boy, ain't ya? Yeah, sure is. She told me about you. Says she tasked you with finding a golden city. Oh? Aye. I might even succeed, despite my best efforts. I had begun to think it was a fool's errand. My own fruitless search in my youth proved as much. Yeah, here you are. Older and wiser. Playing a fool again. Courtesy of the company I've been keeping, perhaps. Wuklamat's not the only one to have grown thanks to her comrades. We'll find it. Together. Turn it into fucking Magni. Kudelsvuk, thank you very much for the 3-month resub. Was I ever that young? You waited for me. It seems Ketten Rum knows my mentor, so we chatted for a bit longer. Alphino said to meet by the Aetheryte, so I'll see you there. Yeah, Vieira can be really old, so we don't really know how old he is. And Ketten Rum's like 100. So... Kenram seems to believe that Aaronville's less than 100. And if Kenram knows potentially Aaronville's, mentor and potentially even or maybe even mother or something like that, then The merchants were more than happy to mend my gear and sell me supplies. One would hardly believe that they were ever averse to aiding visitors. You wouldn't believe how many Najul they gave me. Now all we need is a hint to point us in the right direction. City of Gold, here we come. I think I can offer that much. I have an inkling of where the Golden City might be. Milal Jah? And Zeril Jah? You've come to help us? As an elector, I am forbidden from speaking of the Golden City, but my wife is beholden to no such constraints. Then anything you can tell us would be greatly appreciated. Our people have lived here for centuries. There is no corner of this forest we do not intimately know, save for one. Do you recall the place I showed you, where my son confessed the truth of blessed siblings? That stone pier stands at the entrance of the Sky Deep Cenote, the final resting place for children we lost to our zealotry. Precious few are permitted beyond the cenotaph doors, and we have not explored its deepest recesses. If the Golden City is in Yaktiel, it may well be hidden there. Will you permit us to search for it? I have no reason to refuse you. No longer will we rely on the blessed siblings, nor will we conceal the sacrifices made to conceive them. The cenote is no longer under our protection. It is a dismal burial ground, and our children deserve better. Their bodies will be moved to a place of comfort and peace. I'm sure Bakul Jaja would appreciate that, and we're here to offer any help if you need it. Your father also visited the cenote, come to think of it. It was many, many years ago by now, but a notable affair due to the foreigner he brought with him. A mage, I believe. Truly? The Dawn servant did not disclose his reasons, but he descended past our cenotaph and into the Yakui quarries. The old ones. Doubtless the very same ones excavated by Vorpalor's dreamers. The Golden City must be there. In the depths of the Sky Deep Cenote. Thank you, both of you. We'll set out straight away. You will find a winged beast or two lingering in Gokdrak descent. They will carry you below. I believe in you, third promise. You will make a magnificent Dawn servant. Some may send you spiraling into madness. This is it, everyone. To the Skydeep Cenote. Let's do it. It's time to go sky deep. Hashtag sky deep, baby. Okay, I gotta eat some food, chat. Before we go jumping in this hole, I'm fucking dying. I have to eat this food, which means, do we have React? Do we have some React content? I'm fucking dying here. It's all WoW. It's all WoW shit. Except this, which is only a minute and a half long. Ugh. It's okay. I can find something. Tankbuster, Endwalker spoiler, FFX ID animated. What the fuck? I'm not watching this at all. You guys also can't see it. Yeah, it's fine. You're not missing anything. I try to find you content, boss, but it's literally all still just people bitching about Wu Clement. People fucking suck, dude. I don't get it. Oh, that was tank stance? Got it. Ha 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 ha! Anyway. Go back to playing the game. And when I ask someone to be specific about why they don't like her, they waffle about how it's around like it's a borrowed opinion. Yeah, it's exhausting, bro. Probably because it's a borrowed opinion. It's because it probably is. Well, apparently it's how you get the big views, you know? You skip story and then you be negative about it, talk about shit about it, and then that's how you get big views. That's how you get to be number one in the category, apparently. A lot of the Wooklamon hate feels like bandwagoning. There are narrative issues, and I find her overly present, but I don't hate her. I don't know. Yeah, Oh, it's like up on a rock. That's why I haven't been able to get there yet. I skipped the Fast and the Furious movies. Can I write a AAA review about them now? Yeah. That's pretty shitty, but kind of accurate. Too much hate and can't let others' opinion ruin your own experience, though a couple of VAs had some parts that maybe could be a tad better. Oh, sure. Sure. Their work isn't perfect, you know? It's not perfect. There's been a couple moments where I'm like, what? Like, that was awkward. Or that was weird. But, I don't know. Sounds like bitching and being a negative Nancy is, as always, the best way to get engagement on the internet. It's happening with World of Warcraft right now, too, where all the content is people just bitching about Chronicle Volume 4. I do agree that it's bad faith to say that Wooklamon haters are story skippers. We've had this discussion before where, like, there are valid reasons to not like Wooklamon. I think what's being pointed out in chat right now is kind of griping about the people who don't seem to be able to voice what exactly their opinion is, you know, in a way that makes it seem like they genuinely have critiques, right? It seems more like they're just kind of bandwagoning on to the idea that it's a bad character, bad story, bad this, bad that. And people very much do that shit, bro. Like I said, that's all, I mean, it garners the, you know, some of the most attention. Again, it's not a coincidence that, you know, some of the most viewed clips and shit are of people being upset about things. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that, you know, social media feeds intentionally put things in front of you that they know that you will find controversial because they're trying to get you to engage with it. And guess what? It works. So, it is what it is. Dirty laundry sells? Sure does. Sometimes the voice direction is off too. Yeah, I agree. I think voice direction is more off than actual voice acting. We had that discussion too of like the difference between when I explained like, it's not like voice actors go in and they just record lines and then they're like, here you go, boss, this is what you get. Like, no. They have someone directing all of that as well, you know? There are definitely valid reasons, but it also feels like for every valid complainer, there's 5 other louder voices complaining due to bigoted reasons. I think it's hard because there's also people that are doing that are claiming that that's not what they're doing. There's a lot of slimy ass people out there who try to conceal their bigotry and their, you know, whatever it might be. And it's really annoying when you see people doing it. It's like, just accept that that's who you are. If that's what you believe and that's what you think, then just accept it. Don't try to hide about it. Why are you hiding? You know? Topic change. Do you enjoy the music? Any specific ones you really like? I'm not interested in a topic change. It's the cringe emote spam for every wholesome conversation that makes me the angriest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. The irony is that the cat girl is a divisive character. Yeah, well, I have opinions about that. I have some opinions about why she's divisive, but they're sweeping generalizations and probably not fair and accurate. That music sounds timing? Yeah, it got real quiet. This is the cenotaph, which means that beyond these doors is right of succession or no. Disturbing the souls that rest here feels Wrong. I know, but I can't turn back. Let's pay our respects, at the very least. Let's go. I'm ready to complete my journey. The Skydeep cenote now accessible. Dungeon. Who wants to tank? I got tired on negativity about the topic to the extreme I have to stop following some people. Yeah. Thanks, Lady Sumi. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, Aaronville's slowly becoming more of a character as well. It's good. I confess I anticipated my duty as a guide with no little weariness. I knew our journey might change the course of my nation, but I did not think it would change the course of my own life. Dude. I'm having a hard fucking time today, man. God damn it. Fucking fruit flies trying to fly in my fucking drink and shit. Sorry. You're very balanced and fair with your critiques. It's nice to see. Thank you. I try to be. I try. Yeah. I don't know what's down there, but I'm eager to see it with my own eyes. Wukevu, Mablu, so many people have helped reach this moment. Let us honor their generosity and find the Golden City at last. Yet why do I have a feeling that that's not what we're going to find? It's too easy. Cenotaphs are notorious for attracting malefic creatures. We must exercise all due caution. Oh, great. Part of me is so sad to see our journey end, but I have to see what's waiting for us in there. Yeah, I mean, all this shit... Wu Clement, I don't know if you checked, but we're only at level 95, so... It's weird having nuanced, healthy, robust discussions about the MSQ on stream here, and then seeing clips from other popular streamers and they're engaging with the story at surface level, and the clip is just 9 minutes of them going, oh, wow. Wow. This is so bad. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Well, what do you expect? Media literacy is at an all-time low. Whatever. Having successfully collected all 7 keystones, Wu Clement now faces her final challenge as a claimant. Finding the Golden City. The City of Gold. Oh, that's what we're okay. All clues point to Yaktael, whose only uncharted terrain lies in the Skydeep cenote. Long before the Mamulja converted it to a cenotaph for children lost to the dream of blessed siblings, the Yakui quarried its depths and witnessed dreams of their own. Now you must tread this path of ancient awe and endless sorrow, to discover for yourself what lies glimmering in the deep. Here we go. I've also unfollowed a couple streamers in the aftermath of this, no regrets. Fuck that up. Use my fucking swift cast a little early. Banshees, arrowheads. I do kind of wish that we had more unique models for the dungeons. Like the fact that we fight we often fight like reused models is kind of annoying, but I guess that's Final Fantasy for you. I wish they felt a little more unique in that way, but that's kind of the thing throughout the whole game, so it is what it is. Doesn't really feel like I'm fighting anything unique. Huh. Several openings to the sky. So there's that. I think that's interesting. There are problems with sinkholes in this area, right? I think so. So perhaps this is more people have been lost to these even as well. What the fuck is that? Feather Ray? Unsung Elegy. Immersion. Good add-on. Every single boss opens with the same thing. You're cursed to be a nuisance to your party. Oh, it's a cone. I see. Oh, stand. Oh, nice. Actually grew some. Oh, I see. I thought the current was going to move us. Oh, yeah, sorry. That was an interesting boss. Miner's Mark. This is where excavation was happening. What is this, Minecraft? What the fuck? Why do I play classes that make it so I can't move? Why do I do this to myself? Why do I play these fucking jobs that once they use their special ability, they can't move? Like, why do I do this? Why the fuck do I do this to myself? Another fucking job. It has to be in a fucking dumbass circle. Another one. Fuck me, dude. It's so fucking annoying. So annoying. Fucking bigger ley lines. Just literally just bigger version of ley lines. Fuck. Have you ever tried painting while running around? Hardly. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's just slow down here. Let's just slow down here, because we have machines in this room. Vergar Armory. Huh. Rats? There are rats. It thinks we're rats. Workers arise. Eliminate the rats. All the orange really reminds me of like Ronk and stuff.
Jumping Lego blocks. Silence, our workers have fallen. Activate firearms. And that thing goes in the core. It's like the core of that thing. Yeah. Core engaged. This. Too much OGCD shit. Watch AoE to start. Every single boss is the same formula. They all start with an AoE ability. Not every single one, but it really feels like 90% of bosses start with an AoE ability. Even raid bosses, I think, do that. Kinda interesting. Oh. Thunder Light Burst. Burn upon the metal grounds. Ancient Artillery. Whoa. Emergent Artillery. Firearms is what it's called. Firearms. Oh, it's only whichever one he hits. Dynamic dominance. Dynamic dominance. It's like Matrix code. Lamau. We were just looking at this in World of Warcraft. Path of Dying Light. So many OG CDs on this class, bro. It's so weird for me. Like, I kind of wish some of these would roll a fucking GCD. Whoa. Holy shit. That looks like a gateway. A really big one. You have like some pseudo-digital constructs. Is this digitized corruption like leaking out? Or is this all actually digitized underneath? It looks like it's almost being converted. Or this doesn't look like the underlying structure. It looks like something almost like growing on top of it. Skydeep Packer. This track honestly almost kind of reminds me of like an FF16 track. Like Dalmechia type shit, you know? Yeah, the guitar is really good. Whoa. Skydeep War Scythe? Well, that's kind of sick. Nice. Whoa. Sculptor of Silence. Maul Skull. It's got a hammer for a head. Sculptor of Silence. I also like how the gold and purple are like running together. Honestly makes me think like light-based ether darkness-based ether conversion maybe between the two. I think that's maybe what these pylons are trying to represent a little bit as well. But I could be wrong. I don't know. So weird. Gatekeep's Anvil. It's got chains on it. All right, let's do it. Okay, even though I stopped my cast, it's still casted because Final Fantasy. Like, okay. That's so cool. Is this going to be an AoE ability? Nope. Oh. It's all good. Oh my god, Taylor. This fucking ability is infuriating, bro. Like, can I please move in the direction that I think I'm gonna go? Like, I'm moving diagonally. Move me diagonally. Like, what the fuck? Fucking dog shit, dude. I'm moving that way? Send me that way. Fuck. It's like if you hit the fucking button before the game recognizes what way your character's facing, it just doesn't fucking send you the way you think it's gonna send you. So fucking annoying. You have to like let the game catch up because it's fucking too slow to realize where you're actually fucking aiming. Ugh. Nice. Level 96, let's go! Oh, it's like fading in darkness. It exploded in darkness. So the purple ether, maybe. Maybe that means nothing. Look at that shit. Canvas is expanded? What? Okay. Sure. Yo, good run, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for letting me take the time as usual. And look at that blue and gold gate at the middle. Wow. Look at that. Did these guys say anything? I've never seen a place like this before. Strikingly different from the rest of the cenote. We must be very deep below. The two that I got, then that must be it. That light, he said. Alice, what did you say? Let me get that dialogue one more time. We must be very deep underground by now. Yeah, like how deep? Like Are we getting close to the ethereal sea kind of deep? Like what's... That's an interesting gateway. That sure looks Allagan to me. That gateway right there looks a little Allagan to me, but you know, I don't think that necessarily means anything. Let's see. Allagans again? I kind of hope not. I kind of hope not. Maybe Maki or something? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense either. I don't think that makes sense either.
I thought this place was of Yokwi origin. But is this glowing stone their creation as well?
Probably not.
I don't believe so. I've never seen anything like it.
Then it's from an even older time.
Could just be ancients.
Don't tell me it's the Allagans again.
What?
While careful study would be required to confirm, it does not appear to be reminiscent of their designs.
I would agree. Is it ancient? Pre-Allagan? I mean, that gateway looks a little more. But that's wild.
A golden light. Could it be?
There's something on the other side, but how do we get over there?
Typical. This looks like almost like a mix of like light and dark ether going on here. I kind of like this. The concept of what is born from it is interesting to think about.
That's how, apparently.
Just accidentally step on the trigger.
Right then. Let's go and take a look.
Oh, and my character's all gold and purple too. What are the chances of that? What the fuck? How come my character's themed exactly like this gateway accidentally? You said that? Oh, yeah, you did. What are the chances of that? What the fuck?
That seal. That's Charlian and no mistake.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't recognize it as Charlian, honestly. Now that we're closer, I can see it more. Galuf. Yeah, that's quite a gateway.
How do we open it?
So come and look at this.
Control console? Oh, it's the things.
Your tablets might be a good fit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yeah. We've been collecting those. Put them motherfuckers in there. This is all pre-planned by Galuf, dude. Guy's got foresight of Norganon. It's insane. This is crazy. And Golul Jaja's part of it too. Ket and Ram's part of it. Like there's several people. Uklamat's father. Ket and Ram wasn't accidentally asked to fucking stay around. You know what I mean? It's not an accident. Golul Jaja knew this would happen.
Leave it to Alfino.
And already the City of Gold is yes, it's gold, sure, but it's also, as we discussed, seemingly more about perhaps the technology and stuff like that. Nice transition there. That was well done. Wow. And these blocks have both. Whoa, that almost looks like a big clock. Or like a sundial or something. Sundials are on the ground, but, you know.
Is this it? The Golden City?
Maybe a way into it, but I don't think the Golden City is necessarily in reality.
There is some resemblance. It doesn't quite live up to what the Yokwi described from their dreams.
I mean, it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar. Golden light flowing through everything, like, I mean... Kryl, you...
Well
Oh, nice.
done. Well done, indeed.
Is this other half in the
Have found the entrance to the city of gold and triumphed in the right
Is that why
succession.
the other one's asleep? The whole dream thing? Is his other brain half, like, connected with this shit? Is it in there? Is your
So
fucking
we
other
did
twin
it.
in that shit? Is that how you did this? The gold and purple on its head.
To the end.
The other half of this motherfucker's inside of there, isn't it?
You seem more perplexed than joyous.
It's just... This place is unlike anything we've seen in Tural. Never mind the peculiar stone. So I am given to wonder, what exactly lies beyond that gate?
Nothing less than the golden city of legend, I assure you. The circumstance prevents us from opening the gate. As to what the city is and what Gall of Valdesium discovered all those years ago, this knowledge and more, I will share with you after your ascension. What you choose to do with it will be up to you.
What the fuck is Zoral's job, by the way?
The Golden City is real.
Sort of.
It took a while, but I finally found it.
Come, let us return to Tuliola.
Home at last.
He saw somewhere making out with his bestie. I hated that part. I just wanted to go inside the gate so badly, but everyone's just mad. Let's go back. Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it?
I will tell you after your ascension.
It's like, okay. I understand now why the students of Valdesian were petitioned. But what were my grandfather's findings? Not only regarding that stone, but that gate. That was wholly unlike what I imagined in my youth. Since when did a place like that exist in Yoktural? It feels as though we have more questions than we set out with. But for now, returning in one piece is cause enough for celebration. Well, we've done it. We've seen Wuklamat to victory in the rite of succession. Like me, I expect you have no few questions about the Golden City. But they must wait until our claimant has settled into her new role. Even as we speak, she prepares for the Ascension ceremony back at the palace. I'm given to understand it will be held in a few days' time. In the meantime, let us all enjoy some well-deserved rest. Okay, so I sure hope that in the time that we spend celebrating and preparing over the next 3 days that someone doesn't go and find the entrance to it themselves and gain access before we do. Because people have been spying on us the whole fucking time. It just seems... whatever. Remember how, like, in World of Warcraft, we left those pillars of creation in the Tomb of Sargeras, and people were like, yeah, what if someone comes and, like, takes one of those? And then Queen Ashara in the next expansion was like... that Tidestone, I'm gonna need that. You know what I mean? Like, we just find... yeah, whatever. I mean, if we took it out, it would have sealed the tomb again. So that's like the problem. But it's like, what are we doing? And by the way, since Queen Ashara stole the Tidestone, it should have resealed the tomb. Just gonna say that right now. The tomb's lower depths should have been resealed as a result. But whatever. Technically, it's resealed. Hopefully, it's free relics. This moment is a big weak point in the story. Narratively, it's so stupid. I mean, they just cock-teased the fuck out of us. I mean, they finally showed us the gate, which is great. It's a great... what a great gate. They built a phenomenal gate. You know, some would say the Yakui, they know how to make a gate better than anybody else. Big gates, big walls, big bridges. Battle of the Big Bridge. Big battles. Very big, the biggest. Hugely, woogly, bigly, wiggly. Everybody knows we're gonna go to the Golden City, but not today. Not today. They built a light and dark aetheryte wall, and we can't get in. We can't get in, but we're gonna crack the code, and we're gonna make the Allagans pay for it. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. What the fuck? I have to go to the bathroom, but then after that, we're gonna continue, okay? All right. Theorize time. You guys do think the Giants learned from this place they found and built all those stones golem creatures because current Giants don't have that magic technology? Given that this is implied to be pre-Akui, I would think so, that they've maybe learned some shit from that. Pyro has the honor of not having his Discord shoved into a folder with many of the other Discords. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That's actually why I don't join too many Discords. Like, I'm in my Discord. I have a private one for, like, me and my real-life friends. Ocean's 12, which is, like, the Final Fantasy 14 FC Discord, which is run by Alec and V, for the most part. I have the Tide Pool, which is Wave's Discord. I have Akalon's Discord, which I don't really use. I have another one from like work friends from Best Buy. The Twitch Partners Discord and the Twitch Rivals Discord. I don't really use very many Discords, to be honest. That's why I always encourage people to check out our Discord, because look, I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of cesspool Discords out there. A lot of Discords who don't do a very good job of like banning and pruning bots and inactive members. We have like 3,500 members and they're all active. I don't allow for non-active members. I go in and I prune anyone who hasn't been logged in for the last 30 days, or 60 days or something like that, every like month or so. And I think that our Discord's really active, honestly. Like, I type in it a lot as well. You know, I'm really active in the WoW speculation chat, and not only do we have WoW channels, but we have active FF channels too. So yeah, I think it's a good Discord overall. Yeah. Jay is also super active. Yeah. I have a smallish Discord of my own for a few real life friends, and it and yours are the ones I have popped out on their own. Thanks. I don't mind pings from your server, and I like peeking in even when I'm not always chatting. Yeah, that's awesome. And I try to keep it a place where like you can chime in and go like have conversations if you want to. But also, yeah, it's nice, you know. I feel like I try anyway to keep our pings relatively tasteful. Reddy, I'll answer your question in just a minute actually. But we try, all we ping for is streams and new videos, which I feel like is, I mean, you guys want to know about that, right? That's kind of the point, right? So hopefully that's not obnoxious and that it's useful for you guys. Because I know that a lot of Discords just like ping random shit for no fucking reason, which I think is really annoying. I feel like I contribute to that. Maybe a little too active. Well, Cypher is one of the most active people in the Discord, I would say. Definitely up there. Cypher chats a lot. Mostly about World of Warcraft, obviously. Your ping is the very reason I'm watching your stream. That's sick. Jay's pun for video announcements are killing me every time. Yeah, he's much better at it than I am, honestly. Sometimes I hesitate to even like post that a new video's come out because I'm like, damn, I feel like Jay could come up with something more witty and funny than I can. I feel like Jay has a better, and maybe he just takes his time to like formulate the joke. Maybe I'm like downplaying how much thought goes into it. Different Cypher? Cypher 8 is Ayumi? Oh, I'm such a dumbass. I think there's even another Cypher. Well, at least I know who Ayumi is. I know Ayumi better than I know the word Cypher. What's up, babe? This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. You merely adopted the cringe. Jay was born into it, raised in it. Yeah, I turned into fucking Malfurion there. Alec, you're doing it again. Do we have a Cypher Sephiroth? Honestly, most of the time I just roll out of bed and type the first thing that comes to my head for pings, but I'm glad they're funny enough that they seem well thought out. I mean, that's impressive. I like to think that I'm quick-witted at times, but I will say that I think that comedically, I think that you're funnier than I am, to be honest. I definitely would say, and not to say that that's not to imply that I'm more quick-witted than you. That's not what I'm trying to say, sorry. You know that, but I just think, yeah. So to answer your question, someone had asked, do you think we'll ever meet Azem? No. I think in 3 different ways we already have. Okay, let me elaborate on this. We have already met Azem. Okay, in 4 different ways, actually. We have already met Azem in that we have met shards of Azem, right? We've met Ardbert. Ardbert is another shining, pun fully intended, example of a shard of Azem, okay? I would say that another form of Azem that we met was Vana. I would say that Vana is a great example of what the station of Azem is meant to represent and what their role in the place of the ancients truly was. I would say in the 3rd way that we have met Azem, we have met Azem's best friends. We have met, obviously, Hythlodaeus, and we've met Emet-Selch. And I think that through experiencing those characters and their reactions to Azem, we met Azem in another way. The last way, the 4th way that I would say that we have met Azem is that we have come to realize that we are Azem. And I think that that's the most important one, because while there may be opportunities for us to meet other shards, there is no Azem to go and meet because we are Azem. And it took us a while to come to that realization. That is our station. That was our role. And I think that through self-discovery, the remembrance and discovery of your friends, former Azem, Vana, and even shards of Azem, I think that we have well enough already met Azem. Does that make sense? Azem is us. And that's why this game does something that most MMOs like World of Warcraft does not accomplish this in any way, really. where your character being a penultimate figure in the development of the world and events that led to what we experience as the current time in the game. I mean, there's nothing else that I've ever played that's anything like it. I've never felt more the hero, for real, with real lasting impact and consequences than I do in Final Fantasy XIV. And that's just the truth. I think Final Fantasy XIV even does a better job than most single-player games, which is miraculous. That's insane. So yeah, I hold this game in very high regards in terms of its narrative, in terms of who we are and what we represent. And on that note, I was sent a message from one of my longest-term viewers, Einhard, or Tacitus. I believe those are the same guys. Jesus Christ, I hope I don't fuck that up. And he was sharing with me his thoughts about the narrative in Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. And one of the things that he said that kind of stuck with me that I really appreciated was he said that for the first time and really ever, we are kind of this sagely figure, you know? We're here doing something that does not require our full and complete initiative. We are helping someone else come to realize who they are, much in the same way that our allies like Thancred and Urianger and the Scions and many of the others that we have met helped us recognize and discover who we are in the game, right? So in this way, what's happening in this expansion is almost like a reversal of what the game has kind of built us up to for a long time, where instead of being the primary focus and like being the thing that needs to just, instead of, as it was said by Tacitus, as it was said by him, we feel like less of a loaded gun that's just like being carried around and pointed at whatever our allies need it to be pointed at. And in this way, it allows the opportunity for other characters to grow and to like have to undergo some fuck ups and some stuff. It's not just the Warrior of Light just solving it, you know? Because we're very powerful. At this point, we're probably the most whole and powerful being in terms of ancients on the planet. Like, G'raha T is the only one, as far as I'm aware, who's right there with us. And I think that says a lot, right? Like, we're an unstoppable force at the end of the day. And so it's good, and I think what they've done with Dawntrail is good in terms of they've kept, you know, all the universe, all the references, all that stuff. The game feels familiar, same characters, familiar characters, but still new ones, while also shifting the narrative perspective to one of more of a guidance and kind of wisdom position. Which, frankly, is that not exactly what Azem is? Think about Vana. Is that not exactly what she was? What they were intended to be doing? To gain wisdom and learn the ways of the people and their plights and learn, you know, about the world, and through that gain immense wisdom and judgment to the point where they were considered pretty damn close to being infallible, like, in terms of their judgment. That's what's said about Elidibus. The guy has basically what's considered to be like flawless judgment, which is like pretty crazy. As emissary, that's one thing, but he wasn't Azem, right? So that's a little bit different. But the white robes, you know, honoring that particular station, I think speaks for itself. But in the Azem fanfiction 2024 I read, Azem is my, yeah, well. The entire universe almost fell to despair, and we answered that metaphysical crisis by literally punching despair until it died. Yes, after essentially using our trauma and love for our comrades to walk through a section of space that was governed by the principles of emotion rather than the laws of physics as we knew them. Like, it's so Final Fantasy, dude, it's pretty crazy. The walk was one of the most incredible experiences in all of gaming that I've ever gone through. So it's pretty crazy, like how they balance it in that way. And shit, it brought people who were known publicly to basically not be very emotional, to be more stoic with their emotions, I should say, like preach, and it like literally brings them to tears. People that do not normally cry at video games, or really anything. And I think that speaks volumes. Sumi, I'm reposting because it's a very good joke. I can be funnier than you. You can be smarter than me. Head of reason, head of shit posts. Pyrule JJ. Hyrule JJ. That's real good. The head of reason and the head of shitpost. I switched to Viera for Dawntrail. Their longevity plays nice into this wise Azem being that we're supposed to be. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how long Elazen are supposed to live, but as elves, I would imagine they can be pretty old. Does anyone know the lifespan of Elazen? I don't know these kinds of things. I don't even know that shit for WoW, to be honest. Like, I don't know the average lifespan of the races in that game either, which is probably something that I should know. Around 100 years. So about, it's a little more than, like, you know, humans on average. Yeah, hunts, bro, that's great. I'm gonna skip the dialogue on this because I don't really know if I care. I can read it here. Yeah, okay. Okay. I know when we asked the Viera in the first, they said long enough. Umain Raktika says V's live 3 times as long as elves. So about 300 to 400 years. So Elazen must live 120 to 150 years. Then there's Ket and Ram, who just forgot to age for a while, apparently. What do you think of the con of Dawntrail so far in your POV? The con? The content, the convention, the content of Dawntrail? Well, I can't really speak too much about that, to be honest, and give you an actually valid opinion in any regard, because all I've done is MSQ. Pro, cons, the downside? Oh, the cons. The bad experiences? Well, some of them are just me being a little fucking baby. Like the way that I complain about this class having a fucking circle on the ground that it has to stand in. I could just not play it if I didn't fucking like it. But I like playing it, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I might probably still complain about it, but I'm gonna keep playing it. So that's not really Picto's fault. I think that's more of me. Picto's extremely powerful right now, so who gives a shit? You gotta stand in your fucking circle, boo-hoo. Yeah, you have to do the same for Black Mage, and it doesn't do nearly as much damage, so. I would say there's been a couple moments with Wu Clement that have been like, come on. Like, or kind of like a shut up kind of moment, you know? Just, Wu Clement, just stop talking for a second. And I felt that way at several points with Lys as well, but for different reasons. I think the narrative so far is rather compelling. I think the City of Gold thing is really, really compelling, personally. And I, you know, I think learning about the peoples and their, you know, their traditions and stuff like that has been really nice, really good world building. There's subtle references to other games that I really like. So I'm starting to list off good things for you at this point. I don't really have a lot of bad things to say, to be honest. I think for the most part, it's pretty good. I like the music. I like the locales. I like the dungeons. I like the trial that I've done. Wild Jatika bananas. These luminescent blue bananas are the direct predecessor of the selectively crossbred strain now grown in Golmagic Grove. Under the peel, the fruit is mild in color and flavor both. Thanks. Oh, 69 of them. Well, now I can't eat any of them because I'm not fucking that number up. Come on, dude. Blue bananas is what kept Ket and Ram looking that young. You think he ate them, or do you think it was like an exfoliation kind of thing? He just said banana, then walked away. Nice. When I went through this story, I feel a bit saddened that majority of NPC that was with us are in the backgrounds and don't have more agency. Well, I haven't finished yet, so I can't really say. I don't really like to give too much opinions on stuff in the whole sense when I haven't finished it. So I can't really say. You mean like the Scions? I mean, I think that's, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Fissy here that with Physicist, that's kind of how video games work, though. With the story being told and the characters can't deviate. Yeah, I mean, the characters are part of the story, if that's what you mean. Like, they don't have agency in that regard because they're part of it, but I don't know, I think generally I'm okay with it. You guys, what you have to, in my opinion, you need ebbs and flows. You need periods during which the Scions aren't as important. Because it helps you appreciate it more, in my opinion. I think that it's like important to have breaks from certain things because if you just have it all the time, you're gonna get sick of it. It's like even your favorite food. You can only eat your favorite food so much until you're like, I gotta have something else. And to the point, sometimes it makes you never want to have it again. So I don't really mind it too much. I love Thancred. I love Urianger. I love those characters. Don't get me wrong. I love the twins, you know, but I think that there's opportunity to build some other characters up that we can also, you know, love and appreciate for different reasons. So it's not going to stay like this forever. I'm sure they'll become more involved, maybe in patch content, or maybe they won't be another large focus until like the next expansion. But I think that taking a step back from them is a good thing because it would make it, I think, more refreshing and maybe even more exciting to like have something focused more around them next time around, you know? I think that when you have a break from something, you can like bring it back stronger and like better maybe even than before because it's fresh again and you've had an opportunity to just like experience some other things. I don't know. The Scions aren't an official organization anymore. They're not a publicly recognized official organization. But let's be honest, the Scions still very much exist. Even the Scions themselves can't help but accidentally say it. You know what I mean? So I think that the Scions in spirit very much exist. They're all still together. They're all still friends. They all still have each other's backs, and you know that if a world-ending threat arises, they're all gonna get together. They're all gonna unite. But they're not a publicly recognized organization in that they identify themselves as such to really anybody else at this point. That role is something that they wanted to, you know, kind of step away from. But let's be real, it's not really gone. Now that the Rite of Succession is finished, do you feel like they live up to the promise of the rivalry between us and the old Scions? Well, assuming that it's done in any sense of the words, no, I don't think that was really an accurate description of what happened. And maybe that's just, you know, it's a lot to do with how we interpret expectations, you know? So, I don't know. I don't think that it felt like we had a rivalry with them. I mean, briefly it did, but I was expecting a little more direct competition. And the fact that Kona ends up joining us, it's like, come on. Physicist, he said, how about you tell us something you did like about DT Ready instead of passively voicing all of your grievances in the form of questions? That is one way of interpreting that. That is one way. Kona couldn't stay away from our Jibruk Pibil. It's true. Our Jibruk Pibil was fucking mwah, chef's kiss, dude. Tell me about the Dawn hunt so I can do these hunts. You might say at the beginning, but it's hard to put a pin in exactly that was. Even before Kona brought the system of marks and bills over from Eorzea, our people were hunters. Not just for food, but for safety. Hunting none of those ill-made monstrosities whose very existence was inimical to our own. It was for that very purpose that the Vipers came to be. The finest hunters in Tural banded together to hone their skills and their blades, and devoted their lives to stalking and slaying the fiends. Wait, is this unlocking Viper? What is this? Or is they just giving me lore? This is a hunt unlock, right? No, you unlock Viper in a different city. What am I talking about? At first, we were no more than a fellowship of like-minded folk. Folk could take it upon themselves to deal with any danger they caught wind of. It was only after Galul Jaja united Tural under the Dawn Servant's crown that our role as protectors of the realm was made official. That kind of sounds like the signs of the Seventh Dawn. Commissions started pouring in from Yasulani to Yaktiel, but we didn't have the numbers to answer them all. That's when Kona proposed we bring in the system he'd seen in Eorzea, calling on adventurers and mercenaries to handle those threats we couldn't, the Adventurers Guild. Is there a point to this? If there's a point to this little history lesson, it's this. Many folk join the hunt seeking adventure or glory or fortune. But from the very beginning, whenever that was, it's been about one thing and one thing only. Protecting those who can't protect themselves. Don't forget that. And one more request that I make of every Viper to train under me. Don't get yourself killed. We hunt to save lives, not to throw them away for no good reason. I reckon that's enough moralizing from me for one day. It's about time I headed back to Yaktiel. Come and drop by if you're ever in the area. Calling adventurers to swarm our lands hundreds at a time to ravage our hunts back to back every 6 hours. Yeah, in a wave of absolute destruction. Rares, more like not rare because they're always getting killed on their spawn cycle. I guess it makes it even more rare perhaps than in that case. So they're immediately getting got. Vipers Zul'Dah, right, that's what I thought. Had Pibil for the first time earlier this week because of Dawntrail and can confirm that it's delicious as fuck. Damn, I don't even know if there's a place around me where I could get that. I really need to activate my notifications for Hunt Train. I need that damn turtle. Back already, okay? Yeah, he told me everything. Good to hear. We don't hunt to kill, we hunt to live. Remember that and you'll be fine. Speaking of that, I took the opportunity to update the ledger. Thanks. Now I can get intermediate marks. Shibruk tasting scene, the flour tortilla disappeared when the camera zoomed out, so he was just holding floating meat. I guess it's barbacoa, Shibruk Pibil? Yeah, I think it was said that it was beef, right? Immediate dawn hunt, intermediate hunt, dawn hunt marks. Gimme. What is uncouth customers? What's that unlock? Oh, that's roll quests? Right. We'll do that later. We'll save that. We'll dedicate some streams to doing those. Take it slow. Roll quests and they are not needed for MSQ? Were they before? Was it like that in Shadowbringers and Endwalker? Or just Shadowbringers, or... I guess it wouldn't be optional then. Only Shadowbringers? I know, I still have to finish the Endwalker ones. What did you guys think of the Endwalker ones? Were they pretty good? I think I did tank and maybe healer. Didn't I? They are needed. They're needed in the later zone. What are? Roll quests for Dawntrail? Or for Endwalker? I'm so confused. Trash, lol, though the Castrum one in Ishgard was awesome. The roll quest for Dawntrail? Everyone just said that Dawntrail was not required. You're the only guy saying that it is. The role quests in DT are needed if you want combat mentor. The DT is not required. in my message on God. Bro, you have people in the chat literally saying that they finished MSQ and then they haven't done any role quests. Like, how can you sit there and say that it's required? DT role quests were optional. They unlock dies for your relic armor. Just dying. Alright, here we go. These better be fucking voiced. Dawn of a New Tomorrow. Is this the hill he's going to die on? Silly. Sometime later. This isn't voiced, I'm going to be very annoyed. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Hold on. Surprised to see me? I suppose it's only natural. I don't know what this fucking voice is, bro. I'm so sick of doing this shit. May I come in? Sure you can. Get the fuck in here, Connor. About the voice percent, Yoshipi mentioned that Endwalker had a higher percent because of reasons, but I think they went too far with DF. Yeah. I haven't properly thanked you for helping my sister. That my sister was able to realize her potential is a testament to the quality of her traveling companions, particularly you. I just can't be bothered anymore, dude. It's so many. It's actually exhausting. It's exhausting my voice. It's exhausting. I can't keep there, and there's so fucking many characters. Well, it's insane. Bear with me here. Thanks, guys. I actually skip Manorville cutscenes now so that I can come watch the fully produced VA by Picto. They use less voice acting because all the names are so hard to pronounce. For that, you have my heartfelt gratitude. His voice has changed 3 times in this cutscene. I'd say you did as... I only did as you might have in my position. Clement did all the work. I was just moral support. I only did as you might have in my position. My primary business in calling is to deliver a message from Lamachi. As you well know, after the Ascension ceremony, she will officially take up the mantle of Dawn Servant. She has expressed a desire for you to accept a post within her administration. Oh. While making no mention of me. Can I just, like, elect you instead? You needn't decide immediately. My sister will broach the matter with you again after the ceremony. Whether you continue to assist Lamachi or not is up to you. That is all, if you'll excuse me. You have become someone irreplaceable to her. As her brother, I acknowledge that with no little jealousy. But believe me when I say that I hope you will stay by her side. Good boy, Kona. Even when he's jealous, still looks out for her. It's possible the story had some late reworks and some BA lines had to be left out and didn't have time to get new ones in. And thus it arrived. The day of the Dawn Servant Ascension ceremony. Okay, what do I feel like something tremendously bad is about to happen? This will be voiced. Right?
What a crowd!
Oh, thank God.
As befits the changing of Dawn Servants.
It's starting.
The Dawn Servant!
Look! He's here!
Oh shit. Where else would he be?
The head of reason is resting again. Thought he'd grace us for this occasion at least. People of Tuliolal, you honor us with your presence. For on this auspicious day, we witness the dusking of one era and the dawning of the next. The succession of Dawn Servants. But I've talked for long enough.
Yeah, the surprise American
Allow me
accents
to
were kind of
present the
surprising there.
claimant, whose determination, wisdom, and compassion guided them to triumph in the city of gold.
Black dog.
My daughter, Wook Lamat. Huzzah! Huzzah!
Long live the Dawn Servant! Long live Tuliolal!
Growing up in this city, I used to think I knew all there was to know about Tuliolal. But my journey showed me how much I had yet to learn about the cultures, histories, and aspirations of this nation. Through the time-honored Ihana, the Hanuhanu taught me how they nourish and cultivate both the land and their bonds with visitors. And with their alpacas and tradecraft, the Pelu Pelu showed me the depths of their patience and fortitude, to know when to push through and when not to push your luck. From the moblins and their artisans, I gained insight into the power of creativity, that it is when we are filled with passion and bolstered by the support of others that we produce our best works.
That's a fact. That's how it works for me.
I was moved by the history and hopes of the Yokhui, who believe that death isn't the end, that we live on so long as we're remembered. I felt joy and harmony in Yaktel when I tasted Shebruk Bibil, the dish that marked the beginning of peace between the Shebral and Mamurja after centuries of warfare. And I felt sorrow in Mamuk when I met with those who placed their faith in the promise of blessed siblings, and for this were burdened with great suffering. Through the understanding we forged, I'm hopeful that they will find what they seek through friendship and community, for we are all Turali.
Understanding with Mamuk? What sorcery did she use on them?
All of which is to say that, as I've come to know our nation, I've seen the ways in which we thrive,
The real Ja,
and
you
the
mean?
ways in which we
It is
still
good
struggle.
that he showed up. It's good to see them
Some
all.
in Kozamauka must resort to banditry to survive. A faction of Yokhui still cling to dreams of conquest. Not everyone lives in peace and plenty. And there's still so much of Tulihyolol I don't know. Places I haven't seen, and people I haven't met. That's why I hope to keep learning about and from you, that we might build a nation where everyone knows happiness. Because if there's one thing my journey has taught me, it's that your happiness is my happiness! I say mine, but the Dawn Servant doesn't need to be a single person, does it?
Oh dear. What is she doing?
Yeah. My father led Tulihyolao to prosperity by the resolve and reason of his 2 heads. But my one head can only get us so far. To further change our nation for the better, I'll need someone else. Someone with the knowledge and insight that I lack. So what do you say? Be Dawn Servant with me, Kona.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier that there was a chance that it was probably not just going to be one Dawn Servant, especially with the fact that Kona just decided to join us. And then they pretty heavily hinted it with what happened in the inn right before this scene, so...
Are you certain?
I'm not really surprised at this decision at all.
Absolutely. You take reason, and I take resolve. Together, we make a full Dawn Servant.
You'll have no objections from me, of course.
I like Galul Jaja. He's one of my
mine
favorites.
is not the approval you need.
During my time abroad,
Nice.
I experienced the benefits of foreign technologies,
Been waiting for this.
some of which I introduced to our nation. Dirigibles now soar the sky in the south, while locomotives traverse the land in the north.
Locomotives, huh?
I was convinced that by imitating foreign powers, we could assert our strength and thereby deter invasion. Yet despite my intentions, I failed to understand what I was too eager to cast aside, and the very people I wish to protect. My own journey has taught me that culture isn't a hindrance to progress, but a shared value that binds us, connecting lives and generations.
Well said.
With your blessing, I vow to help Tuli Yolal prosper in a way that honors the hopes and heritage of all her peoples. My esteemed predecessor would accept nothing less. For ultimately, I harbor the same wish as my sister. To give you cause to smile. That is my heartfelt desire.
His VA is really good. A little clap. Give a little clap. I'm holding my opinions till it's over, chat. I'll have things to say. Don't worry.
Glad this didn't go to waste.
Do you have something made? Oh, nice. The last one. Interesting, that. I wonder if that's going to be
This is
significant.
the Lay of Legacy, the part of the Tulihyola saga where you and I become the next Dawn servant.
Maybe this is part of what opens the gate. Yeah, what if he said no? Yeah. What if all this didn't
Heavens.
happen, you know?
Don't tell me this is what kept you so busy ahead of the ceremony.
Just so you know, I didn't decide this on a whim. After reflecting on all we've been through, I realized it was the only answer.
That's a significant line, in my opinion, in terms of this, what this thing, not only what it symbolizes, but maybe more literally
With
its importance.
this, both my brother and I have worthy successors. He would have been proud. Of course you knew. It's been 3 years since my brother left us.
It cannot be. The head of reason is no longer with us.
Oh, tragic tidings.
One of them can die? I don't know if I believe
didn't
that.
want to believe it.
I guess it could be true, but this whole dreaming thing.
I'm
This whole,
sorry
I
I
don't know.
never told you.
That's fucking shitty.
We wanted the people to rest easy until our successor could be chosen.
That sucks. But if he knew...
Planning the right was my brother's final duty. He was determined for it to serve the nation's best interests, and labored nigh without cease.
Yeah, he knows some shit that he knew some shit that we didn't. That's what I want to believe.
And then he died,
That
forcing
sucks.
me to do the actual work. A sneaky bastard.
I wonder.
But he did well. I have to give him that.
Damn.
The outcome speaks for itself.
Though not quite to the original script, your new dawn servant rises. May they shine resplendent, and their rule bring light ever greater to Tuliolol.
It's kind of disturbing now to just like... It's kind of sad and disturbing. Just like dead brother head attached. Kind of tough. Okay, so wow. That was a thing. Yeah. Wow. There's a couple things here. I think the voice acting for Muklamat's fine. I found that the mixing there was a little bit weird. I don't know if I agree with how the echo was portrayed there, and I don't think it sounded very good. That's a technical gripe. Besides that, the lines about happiness and stuff are like great and all. And that's great. And it's good that they're going to have a duo because Kona, I think, focuses a little more on the leading of the nation part. It's great that happiness is all that and stuff. That's great. That's great. But also, you're also the ruler. You know, you're also like the leader and stuff. I wish I saw Wuklamat, I don't know, take more of that. But I guess it's not really who she is. So I guess that's more like who Kona is, perhaps. And then look. Okay, here's the deal. The jump from the balcony thing is like... That's very like... And I don't know if it's like a bad thing necessarily, but it's just very like... Only thing I can compare it to is just like... It just reminds me, it's just like Hokage-esque, you know? Like next Hokage type stuff. I keep going back to that, I know. And then, okay, here's the thing. The music, the music that just like drops in like that on this like what is perceived to be this just like, I don't know, dude. It just, I don't think it's bad, but like the vibe of it just like there's something just like very, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I want to say it's like it's Disney-esque, and it is, in my opinion, which I don't think is necessarily the worst thing that could happen. Disney's made some great stuff, let's just be clear. But I just, I don't know. The music's fine, I guess, like, it just, it feels kind of forced, like a little, I don't know. The song itself isn't bad. I'm just not sure if it's what I would have picked right there, which I guess doesn't really mean anything. But it's probably not what I would have. It's probably not what I would have picked for that scene. For that. I don't dislike it. Like, I'm not coming out of it like, God, that was so bad. Like, I think that it's just like, it's just in this little area for me where there's something about it that just doesn't resonate with me. Like, I just don't know. I don't know what word to use for it. Maybe the lyrics make it fit better. It was about smiling and happiness, which you guys don't need to start like trying to explain to me. I heard the lyrics. I heard the song. I don't think that really changes anything. It's just not really what I was expecting from the scene, I guess. I don't really know what I was expecting. I don't really know what I was expecting. There was a lot that just happened in that. And I just don't really know... I don't really know what my expectation of that was. And so maybe I didn't really have one. And so maybe I'm just a little bit... not sure how to feel about it. But we're only at level 95. So it's like, that's not the fucking game. It's not like over. Still have stuff to learn about Aaronville and Kryl and Galuf. So there's that. And what the Golden City really is. And I guess at the end of the day, Wuklamat's purpose wasn't to, you know, go inside the Golden City and discover every secret that it has. It was to find it and to become the Dawn Servant. So I guess that's done. Like, that's accomplished now. So that it does feel as though that section is closed. And I think that's good. It's very much like a closed chapter, I think. But now we have new information that we have to go check out and explore, right? And so I'm expecting that will have less of a focus on Wuklamat and more about the Golden City and what came before all of this. That's what I'm expecting, because I feel that's what they've set up here. So yeah, I'm expecting that at this point. So I guess we'll see. I can definitely see why that is probably the most controversial scene, because I'm gonna be honest, during that cutscene, I had Kalecgos flashbacks. Okay? And for those that play World of Warcraft, you know what I'm saying. That was big Kalecgos energy right there. And look, like, I openly admit that I think that shit with Kalecgos is the only cringy part of Dragonflight. It's the only cringy thing. Where they realize that Azeroth has gifted them their power because they came together as a family. And it was it's just like, it's very weird. It's very weird. And this, I'll say this establishes more of that vibe, especially with Wuklamat, than World of Warcraft did. Where World of Warcraft it was weird. It was weird. But yeah, it gave me flashbacks of that moment. And that's not a good thing. But again, I wouldn't say it's like, I don't know, dude. I'm like on the fence about this. I'm really on the fence about this. I don't know. I'm sure, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. Love the music in that scene in WoW, though. I can't say that for this scene in XIV. I was expecting Wook to do the Disney Channel Mickey head in the corner of the screen at the end of that cutscene. My happiness is your happiness. Cue overproduced weird Disney charity fundraiser chorus. It's painful because that is really how that's how it felt, dude. Like when that song kicked in, it really felt literally like the end of like a fucking Disney movie. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, that's how it felt. That's how that felt just now. And I don't know how to feel about that. It's so funny. My first thought was that it sounded like church music. So to me, it sounds like music from like the Hercules movie. where you have the, I think it's, you have the muses or whatever they are singing the fucking, it's very gospel-y, yes. It's very like, yeah, it gives me like Hercules Just One song vibes. Which, yeah. I mean, that's like a thing, I guess. I don't know. Let's continue. Let's continue. We'll see how it shifts. And if it does shift, I guess I'm curious to see how that goes. To me, it sounds like world peace music. And that's great, but I can't be, look, maybe I'm a cynic, but I can't be the only one who like hears her say all this stuff and is like, yeah, but it's not just gonna be sunshine and rainbows. Like, you're like, and she acknowledges that there's still a section of the Akui who are not nice. You of all people are not a cynic? Yeah, I guess I'm not a cynic. Being cynical is being different than being a cynic, I guess, isn't it? But yeah, it's like, it almost seems, oh, I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna be kind of controversial here, so I gotta be very careful. It almost seems like too easy. Like, it's great and all, but like you don't, this is not really, I feel like it's a video game, okay? I'm not trying to make this like too real life or whatever, but I feel like it's kind of downplaying sometimes the tremendous amount of effort and cooperation that is needed to actually overcome cultural barriers like this. And it feels sometimes that it's being downplayed a little bit. That it's like, it's almost too easy the way that we've done some of this. And it feels almost disingenuous because it's so easy. Not enough gravitas? Yeah, I guess. It feels like maybe a little bit more could have been done to earn it. But I'm only halfway done. And so I don't really know where this goes from here. So, keep in mind that most of these barriers were already broken down 80 years ago by Galul Jaja. Wook isn't changing the world, she's learning about an already built country. Yeah, with 80 years of trauma and issues that have also existed. As I think the Mamook kind of prove. And to an extent, some of these places, like the Pelu Pelu, it's expressed as well that they haven't been exposed to war or anything really like truly tumultuous for that 80 years. So some of them have been through strife where some of them have not. And it's great that like continental peace is like happening generally, but at the same time, there's a reason why it was identified that it can be a weakness to sometimes to like not know what strife is, or at least it can be an additional kind of layer of threat because you may not know how to handle it when it arises, right? So like, it's one of the kind of potential downsides of a longer lasting peace. But you know, I don't think that necessarily means that you shouldn't aspire for peace. But I just think that, I don't know, it's a little deeper than just being like, oh yeah, Galul Jaja solved all these problems 80 years ago. It's like, okay, then what the fuck are we doing? These problems clearly are not solved. Like, so I don't really agree with the assessment that they were kind of already, I don't know. I kind of saw it like a mix of video game and people respecting Galul Jaja. Mostly video game. That's the problem with Tural, though. Tural's largely a solved issue. There are problems, but compared to the political nuances of Eorzea, Tural's basically a utopia. We solved racism and eugenics in an afternoon. Yeah, which... Yeah. We didn't solve it. I wouldn't say we solved it. Like, there's still hints of it, I think, in cutscenes. Like, even in that cutscene where the lady was like, oh, what kind of sorcery did they use upon the Mamook to make them, you know? And it's like, it's a jab, but at the same time, it's also like a slight to their people, obviously. I mean, at the same time it is, right? They're both a jab is obviously a bad thing as well, so I don't know why at the same time, like, it was a different thing to contrast, but more to compliment. The point is that, like, you know, there's still clearly some tensions and some distrust, and, you know, there's things like, you know, little jabs, you know, about that. I wouldn't say it's solved, but whether or not it will be addressed, you know, further is, I don't know. They do acknowledge that issues still exist. Exactly. Exactly. They know they still got problems and that it's not perfect. But is that enough? I guess I just don't know. Like, is that, I just don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing part of it is that they didn't want to deal with white savior issues. Most problems were already being handled, and Wook being a native makes any additional solving something local. Yeah, that's something I was worried about too, which is why the whole Kona thing with the technology was something I was a little weary of initially, because I was like, yeah, I don't really know if I like the concept that, like, the only reason why there's technology here is or this kind of technology here is because we brought it. It's almost just like, I almost kind of like the possibility of a storyline where they developed it on their own, right? Because completely on their own, because that independence is kind of like a cool thing to see the difference. And there are differences with dirigibles and stuff, of course. It is different, but, you know, I was kind of concerned about that a little bit. I don't want to risk spoiling anything with my opinion, but I'll say there are a few more bumps in the road, and then the story got substantially, exponentially better. I think I'm only halfway done as a healthy mentality. Yeah, I mean, I'm only on level 95. I'm also incredibly thankful that there were no noble savage tropes. Yeah. Yeah, that was... Yeah. Becoming a leader isn't about victory, though. It's about responsibility. I don't think Japanese developers care about white savior stuff. Not every developer and person who works on Final Fantasy is Japanese. Or lives in Japan, right? You think just strictly only Japanese people and who have the Japanese culture work on FF? Like, come on. We need more ARR politics. Bring back Ilbird. Petition. I'm having a hard time putting it into words, but it feels like people are just dissatisfied with a happy story with a happy ending. I think that you can have a happy story and a happy ending without having to have a speech literally about happiness and smiles and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, I don't know, this isn't really that hard to understand. I don't know, dude. It's a bit on the nose. Exactly. It's not like, it doesn't feel like tasteful or it just doesn't feel like, it doesn't, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't feel like terribly tasteful. This entire game is an MSQ praise for how sad and tragic it is. The H in Final Fantasy stands for happiness. The overall story and expansion is good, but this scene fucking sucked. And I think it should be okay to be able to criticize this individual scene. I agree. It's the same thing of, like, you can have a critique about Wu Clement without that having to reflect on the entirety of the expansion. Like, I've been fairly critical of everything the entire time, you know? You guys all should know that this argument is not in bad faith. This isn't like, you know, there's no veil for why I feel this way. I'm just being really open and transparent. I just think that it just didn't hit for me. It just felt weird. And yeah, that's just the way that it feels. So anyway, with that being said, I saw it more as just Wook is the heart of the nation and Kona would be the brains, similar to how Galul ruled. Right, I think it was a great thing that Kona is going to rule beside her as well. I've been setting that up the whole time anyway. And because, you know, I think it's already reflected in their father. Their adopted father anyway. I mean, father, we'll just say father. Right, so it's not thematically, like, that surprising or anything. I don't know. It just kind of, I don't know. It feels like so far it's been kind of, I've kind of predicted most of what's happened, I feel like. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's fine. It's been pretty predictable. And really on the nose shit is like, I don't know. Doesn't necessarily help. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We got more. We'll see. FF games are kind of predictable is what I keep reminding myself. Which can be good. There are good reasons for predictability and there are bad reasons. Predictability through subtlety, foreshadowing, and stuff like that, I think is good. Predictability because it's just not a very intricate story in any capacity is not a good thing. Which I wouldn't say that this is that. I wouldn't say that. We've heard so many leaders giving speeches in this game, Nanamo, Amaric, Exarch being the standouts, hence Wook sounding very young and naive still. Yeah, I don't think I really need... I think I understand that. I don't really need a breakdown of why. I think I get it. What are chat's thoughts on the friendship is magic moment during Endsinger? I think that's apples and oranges. That's apples and oranges, bro. We literally went through A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker with that crew. So I feel like that's not a very fair comparison. That felt very earned, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, with the Ancients and everything we learned about Hythlodaeus and Emmett Selk, I think that was very much earned. And it was still significantly less whatever defining word you would like to use than this. It's not the same. We shouldn't even be comparing them. It's not fair. It's not fair to this situation to compare it to that one. It's like, it's not even remotely the same. I guess happiness and friendship are not compelling themes, at least not when they're shoved so bluntly into one's face. I think a lot of us feel good about the elements of change that are occurring in this storyline. I think that a lot of us can appreciate positive outcomes and happiness and all of that, yes. But when it's accompanied by incredible amounts of naivete, it's kind of annoying. And I think that it's perfectly reasonable and fair to be critical of that. You can give a compelling, satisfying speech without saying, "Your happiness is my happiness." Come on, that's all I'm saying. We can. I just feel like we could do better than that. That's just all I think. It doesn't even have to be subtle. You can be overt and obvious and tasteful at the same time. Well, I got good news and bad news. If the story is look how happy we are, it's not a fucking story. I mean, I'm happy for you, but it's not a story. Well, the story is how we got to being happy. I don't know. Let's continue. The head of reason was very wise indeed to devise something so elaborate and meaningful as the rite of succession. It is a shame he could not be here to bear witness to the end. A bittersweet celebration, to be sure. But I'm glad Wukalamat finally got the recognition she deserves. She might have told someone what she was planning, but Wuklamant does not act without the best interests of her people in mind. Wuklamant was brilliant up there, wasn't she? The part with the second promise was surprising, but between the two of them, I dare say our new Dawn servants will be capable of handling anything. The future of Tuliolal is bright indeed. Dawn of a new tomorrow. Earlier in Yaktel. Meanwhile, in Garlemald.
Changes in the air, and it's all because of our little firebrand. Every Ilmer father's daughter, that one.
Little fire spark.
I'll be watching where you steer this nation, lass. With what time I've got left.
I like this character. And his voice is easy for me. Oh, he's real handsome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd say he's probably the most handsome row in the entire game. There, I said it.
Are you fucking kidding me? No! Not my sexy row! I just got done. No! No! Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it! I thought we had something! Fuck! Did you guys see that?
I didn't see it. Too handsome to live.
No! Who will my warrior of light settle down with now?